People over 70. Do you still have beep? Or jack? And how different is it compared to when you were young?
Story 1.
Actually better, but not as frequent, due to the need for longer recovery time. There is more intimacy and emotional connection after 44 years with the same woman. With us both being 81, it's not just medicine. I also need to take Tylenol because of all the aches and pains. My wife takes an anti-inflammatory. We both do edibles and just take our time. Again, the goal shifts away from ending, they happen along the way. The goal is using the pleasure to merge with whatever that intangible is love, oneness. To me, you both won the game of life. This is absolutely beautiful. Enjoy every second together. Concur completely with what you wrote. We've been married 50 years, and while we don't have beep as frequent as we used to, our intimacy has grown exponentially. She's my everything and always will be. Damn, this thread is getting me. I've never in my life been able to witness a long-standing and still loving relationship. At least in my own eyes. I'm certain my grandparents loved one another, but the affection was never there. Nothing I ever saw, outside of him calling her lamb, and conversations I wasn't supposed to hear when she got cancer. Every other relationship in my life has been a whirlwind of venom and spite, secrets, cheating, and ultimately just general unhappiness. Everything about them jaded me growing up, and I avoided the beep out of anything stable growing up, preferring to beep around. At 29, I'm just starting to realize it doesn't have to be like that.
Story 2.
My wife manages an assisted living facility. I can't tell you how many times she has caught residents together. In bed, in the shower, etc. My sister works as a caregiver in the industry, and she told me about one of her residents who had passed away. And my poor sister had to run to her room and clear out all the hidden beep toys before the family arrived. The family was already on the way for a visit, so my sister was just frantically throwing beep dose and things in a box as fast as possible. The lady was about 79 years old, and the box of toys my sister threw out was probably worth at least $300. I was told her personality was as spicy as her self-care, and I love that for her honestly.
Story 3.
For reference, I did some back-of-house work at old age homes. Old people beep, like way more than you'll ever imagine. See, the thing is most people in there have had spouses die. And combine that with age, removing the need for societal pressures and moral expectations. And it's basically a giant beep-G at a slower pace. Everyone had to turn with everyone. It's so bad that the staff had to have both a beep school education induction for newbies and constant beep education classes for the residents, as they would have major STD issues crop every few months. The pace may be slower, the position's more angled towards ergonomics than pleasure. But old people be doing. My grandpa got moved out of independent living to assisted living, and he was stressing to my dad that his drawer had to be cleaned out. All right, so Dad had me clean out the drawer. I found my grandmother's crocheted blanket she'd made 50 years ago, prior to her death, in the drawer. And under that, a bunch of lube and beep doms. Then it clicked why every 10 minutes, we were being interrupted by different old ladies asking where my grandpa was. They were my grandpa's girlfriends. All of them. Edit. My grandma died in the 80s, before I was born. My brother used to work at a place that sells aftermarket and replacement parts for RVs. A significant percentage of their business was old people calling about needing to replace things they broke during an beep-G. Apparently, there are groups of retired people who just drive around the country meeting up at different RV parks and having wild beep-Gs. Edit. It's not like they asked why they needed a new part, but a lot of the callers volunteered this information. Caller. Hey, can you ship a new prop arm for X part? We're broke at having a 6-person beep-G in Wyoming. Brother. Sure, that's $15.99. This is so accurate. My wife spent a good chunk of her career as a physical therapist in geriatric homes. And everything she told me backs this up. Everything lines up to make it possible. Inhibitions are removed by dementia, mental decline, or just not giving a beep anymore. Social expectations are removed or not cared about. Some residents are lonely. Many still have beep-soul desire, if not function, and there are medicines to assist with function.
Story 4.
66 female here, having more beep than I ever had when married. Went to a house party a few weeks ago. I was in the middle of the age range. At this age, we've learned to accept our bodies. Are confident in bed. Well, I am anyway. Not afraid to say what we want. The 30-year-olds I've been with find all of that hot. Obviously not all of them, but I get messages from them all the time on Adult Friend Finder. And I've had dates with quite a few of them. Even a 27-year-old, though he has a lot to learn. Love the older guys too, by the way. Yes, I know. Username checks out. I'm in my late 40s, and get hit in by men in their 20s all the time. I just can't. How do you get past the fact that you have kids or grandkids their age? Because if I could have been a chaperone on one of their field trips, or driven them in carpool due to their age, no one I knew when they were kids has propositioned me. I just can't get past that. Am I missing out because I say no?
Story 5.
My 80-year-old neighbor told my wife that she hasn't had beep course for over 20 years due to a doctor messing up her cervix. But she still has an beepism every morning. Talk about too much information. Had an elderly neighbor. She was in her 70s. That would tell me about her wild escapades with our complex's handyman. The only thing he ever said to me was that she was crazy. Whether any of what she said was true or not, I don't know, but she seemed to be having fun one way or another.
Story 6.
My parents are 69, I know not over 70, but close. And they still get it on. My mom always tell me be lucky. Your father and I still love each other. As a kid, I used to think it was so gross when they would put a towel under their bedroom door. I guess they thought it was an extra sound barrier. Laughing my beep out. I never heard anything. Now that I'm an adult and don't live at home, I'm like, you know what? Beep yeah. The other day I saw my dad slap my mom's beep, and it was truly the cutest thing. They didn't want you to smell the beep.
Story 7.
My 77-year-old uncle and his 85-year-old girlfriend have beep every Sunday morning. He says she only likes to be on top because she's fragile. He has a penile implant and says it works like a charm, except that shooting his load is actually more of a dribble. Yes, he has too much information sometimes.
Story 8.
My wife and I decided after a long talk one day to sleep in different bedrooms. I was 40. I sleep 4 to 5 hours max, and spend the rest of the time reading and drinking tea. She needs 8+ hours sleep to function. The intimacy actually improved because she was getting it more often. Sleep, that is, visitation rights remained. We were very open about it to our friends and family, and some of them tried it too, and it became the norm for them.
Story 9.
72 male and 70 female. Together 46 years, married 43 years. And the short answer is yes to both. She retired at an early age 30 years ago, and I retired 16 years ago, and we still do it every day. We are even more adventurous today than 40 years ago.
If you enjoy our channel, we'd love to invite you to become a member. Joining is easy.
Become
Just
a member.
click the join
Simply
button
click the
on
join
our channel
button on my
homepage
channel
or beneath
homepage
any
or
of our
under any of
videos.
my videos.
Your
Membership
support means
start
the
at
world
just
to us.
$3
And as a member,
per
you'll
month
gain access
and can
to
be canceled
exclusive
at any
perks
time.
and content.
Thank you for being a part of our
Thank
community.
you for being
and we
part
hope
of our
to see you as a
community.
member soon.
We look forward to welcoming you as a member soon.